Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the K&B Music Den. I'm Keith.
I'm Brad.
See,
He didn't speak to that time. Okay.
And
he's getting tired.
Yeah. So here we go. 80s excavation. As you folks probably know already, I am a huge 80s nut. I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 1974. Do the math. And this guy, I got him into 80s music several years ago, and he's a big 80s guy now as well. So again, there's a record store, and I'm not going to tell you what it's called because if anyone in my area catches on to this, they're going to get all my excavation.
Yeah, they will.
I'm doing the excavating, damn it. So there's a store here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania that has just a lot of 80s albums that aren't like household name bands, but they're all promos, and they're very, very reasonably priced. Most of them look like they've never even been played. This is such a huge deal for me, and it just works out well for the channel, too, because I love exploring new music that I missed, especially from the 80s. So let's put ourselves on the spot. What have we done? We've done Eddie and the Tide. Did we do a second one already?
No.
Oh, is this
This is the second one
Oh,
now.
no, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So let's not put ourselves on the spot.
Yeah. Well, at least we remembered the one we did. That's an accomplishment for me most
man.
days. Whew.
There we go.
He's Hugh, I'm Cry. No, I'm just kidding. This is called Hugh and Cry, which, by the way, I assumed it was a duo. But
it's not?
It's a full band.
Okay.
Now, the two guys in here that are on the cover, it looks to me like it's... Okay, I thought, that's a different band. There was a band that had two guys that had the same last name, but that's something else. I'm sorry, I was thinking something else, but it is 80s. So anyway, this is a band. There's only two guys on the cover, so I assumed it was a duo, kind of like, your Pet Shop Boys. Not that they don't have other people that play with them and stuff, but anywho. So Hue and Cry, and I always forget the name of this album. It's called Seduced and Abandoned. Interesting. So there's your hype sticker that I texted to you, remember?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have any advantage. But, I threw this album on. And obviously, right away, boom! You know it's an '80s album.
You do, yeah.
You know it's an '80s album.
That's true.
But I'm gonna do what I always do to you when I start the video. I'm gonna put you on the spot. First impressions, Hue and Cry. What did you think?
Well, I was hoping you would go first on this one.
I can.
Yeah, do that.
I can. So, I enjoyed this album. We've only done two so far. I would say I probably enjoyed Eddie and the Tide more.
Okay.
Now, for those of you that are really into the 80s that clicked onto this video for 80s excavation, I will say, to give you an idea, and again, this is always just a generalization in my opinion, but this band to me is a cross between Level 42, Spandau Ballet, and ABC. If you threw those three bands in a blender and drank the smoothie, it's Hue and Cry.
Okay.
Not to take anything away from their own originality and what they do, because they've got some cool stuff going on, which we'll talk about. Now, for a blind buy, I'm very happy to add this to my record collection. It's an underrated 80s band, in my opinion, but here's the thing, and maybe you'll agree or disagree. I listened to this album and I enjoyed it. And I think these guys deserved more fame than they got. However, I think there's a reason. There's not an undeniable, bona fide radio hit single on this album. Fair?
Yeah, I'd say it's very fair.
Oh, okay. I think you're about to unleash on the guys here.
I don't mean to unleash.
No, well, tell us our honest opinion. That's why we do this.
The album cover I liked. I seen that and I went, man, that's really cool. It's like 80s looking, like old school, like, I don't know if it's like The Cure. It's kind of got that gothic, gothic cool. So the album title I thought was just fitting because the album, it seduces you. You're like, man, this looks good.
Yeah.
And then I think it abandons you.
Oh, here we go. This guy.
I didn't enjoy it. I mean,
okay.
And no one enjoys every album that's ever been put out. So
Yeah.
Nothing against these guys. I don't want to fist fight you. I'm sure you're still in good shape. And
they have a ton of albums after this. I don't know if you looked that up, but yeah.
So don't base... Keith enjoys it. He's got the 80s background to put the stamp of approval on him. For me, I'm not going back to it. I won't even lie to you. I made it through about 3 tracks, and I just like, oh man, I can't take it. It was grating for me.
Time out.
Yes.
time out.
See, so
Are you saying that you're reviewing this album with me and you haven't listened to it?
I've listened to 3 tracks. I couldn't get through it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't.
How are you going to have an opinion about an album that you haven't listened to?
I couldn't do it. It's like, okay, here's the thing. Like, let's say you go on a date with a girl. And you're with her for about 30 minutes. You don't have to do the whole date if you just realize this is a bad date.
All right.
You just say, oh my God, I have a horrible headache. I got to go home. Oh, I left the toaster on, the microwave. That's what this album was to me, was this ain't working. This isn't, I can't do it. It was.
Here's the problem, though. Okay, I understand.
Are you going to tell me that the first 3 tracks are real bad, but everything after was...
No, I'm not. I'm not going to go that far. But I will tell you. You know how we always pick our top 3 songs from the album?
Yeah.
They're all after the first 3 tracks for me on this album.
Man.
And I'm telling you, man. I think now you gave up too soon.
Oh,
but
man.
I'm not saying it would have swayed you into like, oh, I actually love them now after the first 3 songs. But folks, I'm gonna reprimand him right on this video in front of you, and I'm gonna, and you know, so back me up, and you know. And
let me have it. Look.
No. I want you to know that moving forward with this channel, I don't care how much you don't like it. Listen to the whole fucking album. All right?
I'll try. But guys, we're in the era of self-love. And we got to take care of ourselves. And this album was really just pain. This was hurting.
I didn't give you a damn Bjork album.
Hey, oh, Bjork, if you're out there, Bjork is fantastic.
I'm kidding. This you have to be in the right mood.
This to me was just hard. Like I can tell you, I've listened to so many albums in my life. I've listened to so many albums in my lifetime.
Oh, I know.
And there can't be more than 5 that I was like, man, I can't listen to another track. I couldn't listen to another track. And I feel bad doing a review saying that about a band because it's not nice.
I'm glad you're being honest.
It's not nice, but I will tell you this. If someone goes, hey, I want to hear one of the worst albums you've ever heard, that's what I would give them.
Oh, come on.
I'm not kidding you. I could not.
Now, I tell you this. The bands that I mentioned that this band reminds me of, all 3 of those bands are superior to this band.
Oh, by far.
I will absolutely say that. And I'm not saying, you know, yeah, he's, you know, and there are times that he's harder on stuff than I am. And that's good. That makes for the K and the B, you know. But, man, I'll tell you, I appreciate your honesty, but if I ever catch you not listening to a full album again when we're doing a review, I'll do the damn review myself.
If we do Hue and Cry again, I'll be in a mental hospital if I have to listen to the whole album. The vocals hurt. The music hurt. Like, I was just like, I didn't think he would come out liking this, honestly. That's why I wanted him to go first. Because I was like, man, if he comes out and says the same thing, I won't feel near as bad as I'm about to.
Okay, and now that I'm hearing what you're saying, I will admit, I think I was...
Will you ever listen to this again?
Maybe.
Oh, man.
Maybe. And it's because of the 4th song,
okay,
the 5th song, and the final song, which you haven't heard.
I was already damaged.
You haven't heard them.
Oh, man.
Now, okay, folks. So if you want to listen to the rest of this from someone that actually listened to the album, you know, you can do whatever you want. You can go get a drink or have a smoke. He doesn't smoke. He's not dumb.
I quit.
Yeah, good job. Now, here are some things I did say about the album, though. I think the vocals are a nice blend between pop and crooner style vocals, which they remind me a lot of ABC. Again, ABC has better songs, they're a better band, no doubt. I wrote down in my notes that I am not a fan of all the lyrics on this album. I'm sure you would agree. The 3 songs that you heard.
Yeah.
3 songs.
Guys, I'm telling you, that I was hoping that I could get to explain just, like I said, it's the amount of albums I've listened to. And for me to come off...
Why is he still talking about on an album?
Because I think it's relevant to explain that there's not very many albums I've turned off. I listen to albums straight through. Like you said, albums are important things. I couldn't do it.
Look, I'm going to have to cover their ears. This is just...
I know.
This is bad.
I actually feel like someone in their family's going to beat my ass now. Like,
I'll give you his address. I'll gladly give you his address. Come to Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Come to Pennsylvania.
Man.
Now, again, I will say this. While I like the vocals, I don't love them. And I do think... And again, if you were to listen longer, I do think that the instrumentation is actually the most impressive part of this album. They have a great use of horns and strings.
I'll go there and say that, yes, the instrumentation was way above the vocals.
I agree.
For me, that's one thing.
I agree.
If they would have cut their vocals off and left just the music, I could have listened to it.
Yeah, well, they probably don't want to do that. But
No, probably
and
not.
you know what? There were some killer bass lines on this album.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, the album that I listened
Yeah.
to, the entire album that I listened to. Let's talk about my favorite songs.
Okay.
Let's talk about my favorite songs because he had 0 and he didn't even hear the songs.
Yeah, but see, all mine are also after track 3 because I didn't have to hear them. Those were my favorite songs too.
I feel like this is the most kind of contentious video we've ever done. We'll probably get the most views on this. We're going to go viral because I said the F word earlier.
Yeah.
And because you don't like it and I'm yelling at you for not listening to... These are the things that go viral, not our our Bryan
man.
Adams things, our top 10...
Well, normally we get along and agree on everything.
No, that's not true.
Well, pretty close.
But we're not... We've never been this divided.
This is pretty divided.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Hey, it's going to happen once in a while.
It is, and I think it makes for great
So you guys are going to have to get
YouTube
used.
television.
Yeah, every once in a while you're going to have to suffer through some pain.
So again, for someone who actually watched, we don't even.
Yeah,
need
I'll
to
just hold it so you can.
We don't even need to talk to him anymore. My favorite tracks on this album that I recommend you listen to and at least have an opinion of, and maybe listen to the entire album if you can get through it without going into a mental hospital.
You might.
My favorite song... That's enough. My favorite songs are Human Touch. Not Rick Springfield, but this is Hue and Cry. Human Touch. Labor of Love. And the last song, Truth. And by the way, all right, I do want you to be seen again.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do. And we're not doing this, copyright. We probably can't in the video. After we finish filming this video, I'm not lying. I'm doing this. I'm putting this on my turntable right here.
This is how mad he is at me. He's going to make me listen to this.
And I'm going to play the last song called Truth because it's a beautiful ballad. And I think you should just clear your mind and be honest about what you think. And who knows? If I'm smart enough to figure out how to edit stuff together, maybe I'll get his reaction and tack it on the end here. But if I'm not, then you'll never know. But maybe he'll put it in the comments too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Hue and Cry, our second ever 80s excavation, doesn't stand up nearly as much as Eddie and Tide.
No, Eddie and Tide was one that made me go, wow.
I'm surprised
I'm surprised I'd never heard of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, now this is a band that reminds me of other 80s bands. I enjoyed the music. I mean, will I listen to this over and over and over again? No. Will I listen to it ever again? Well, yeah, we're about to.
As punishment. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's punishment. That's why.
So, I'm going to show you, Brad, what the next 80s excavation album is going to be. And I'm going to please ask you to listen to the whole album, if you don't mind.
Usually I never have a problem with that, so we should be fine.
This has been fun. This has been great. So, here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Man. What is it? What do we got?
Duke Jupiter.
Oh, I like the name already.
Look at that album cover.
That is a great...
This is their album, White Knuckle Ride.
Oh, I enjoy this already.
See? Even the song titles. Read some of those song titles.
Let's see what we got here. She's So Hot, Rescue Me, Don't Turn Your Back, Top of the Bay, Backfire, Little Lady, A Woman Like You, Work It Out, Me and Michelle, I've Got a Little Black Book.
This is already better than Hue and Cry.
I already do, yeah. We will have no problem listening through this one.
All right. Well, I'm counting on it. So, we're going to try again with this 80s excavation. To Hue and Cry fans.
This is what you get. When you excavate anything, you don't know what's coming.
That's true. Again, I encourage you to listen to Hue and Cry because honestly, you're probably so curious now.
Yeah, if
it's as bad as he thinks, or if I'm more like, okay,
let us know what you think.
But, yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Are you Team Keith on this or Team Brad as far as what it sounds like?
Yeah.
If you make it past track 3,
you have to.
I'll send you an autographed 8x10.
And yeah, because they really want that.
No,
but I'll tell you right now, if you want to, if you want to be like him and not listen to the whole album, I would just say, go ahead and start with track 4 and listen through to the end. I think it'll be a better experience for you. I'm not going to lie. But let's find out how we do with Duke Jupiter next time. White Knuckle Ride. For Keith, I'm Keith.
You're Keith. I'm Brad. Yeah.
See, he's got me thrown off because he didn't listen to the damn album. I felt like I had to do the whole review myself with him.
Oh, no, I had a lot to say.
Me.
I had a lot to say.
Well, it's true, but I felt like he was heckling me.
Well... I wasn't heckling you. I was heckling you. Yeah.
And it made me cry.
Yes. Perfect.
So, for Brad, I'm Keith. We're terrible. This is the K&B Music Den. Please, I don't know if you want to share this video, but at least.
And if you know Hugh, don't show him this.
Yeah.
No.
And if, at least like it, subscribe to the channel. This was fun. I can't wait to watch this one.
Oh,
Not that we
man.
watch ourselves. We're not egomaniacs. But please subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with Duke Jupiter on the next 80s excavation. But aside from that, we'll be back with more new album reviews and some other great stuff coming real soon for you. So check it out. Thanks for the support, and go listen to some Hue and Cry.
Oh, look.